No Nothings Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Ray. Welcome in.
What's going on?
Oh man, just trying to recover from my little pre-workout episode. So we're gonna push through.
You were just saying that somebody that a postal worker got.
So a postal worker was mauled to death by a pack of not wild dogs, a pack of someone's dogs. I don't know the whole story. You can probably pull it up on the internet, but yeah, apparently a postal worker is dead from being mauled by a pack of dogs. You were saying that
Dogs have never liked that. That's like the thing. Dogs have always never liked the post office, and I don't know where it comes from. It comes from like true life, I guess.
Yes, I mean I guess it's maybe the blue, maybe the eagle on their shirt. Who knows? But well,
maybe it's just because they come into like what they think is their territory, and they're bringing stuff
that's
and leaving
100% what it is.
I mean, yeah.
My dogs go nuts if anybody pulls in my driveway.
Yeah. Well,
my dog even, in fact, I've got a canine dog. It's a border collie German shepherd, huge, and she will try to knock the doors off the hinges when somebody pulls in the driveway. In fact, I got on my motorcycle. I put my helmet on. She's usually inside when I'm riding, but I have my leathers on, and I just walk out. I walk right past the dog with my leathers on, hold my helmet. And the dogs, I let them out so they could play while I was riding. And I put my helmet on, and I went down the driveway, and this son of a bitch, or this bitch, because she's a female dog, attacked me and bit my leg while I was on my motorcycle. I almost killed my dog, but I had to realize that she was just protecting me, she thought, I guess.
Oh, my gosh. Should I look that up, or we got to...
Yeah, look up the dog that...
I couldn't get anything to work on here where I could put picture in picture and stuff, so we're just going to go with it.
But, I mean, it sucks to know that you're a postman, you're making $51,000 a year, you're trying to support your family, and
dogs hate you.
And you get killed?
Do you think some of them are sad because dogs are really loving animals? Do you think some of them are really sad about that?
Some of the dogs?
No, the post office man. Do you think he goes home and he's like, oh, man, why don't dogs like me?
I'm sure the guy who's dead is thinking that in the next life.
He's thinking something.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. So what happens? What happens with that?
You know, the owners have to have some onus in that, right? Like, you just can't have your dog, like I said, my dogs will try to knock the door off the hinges when FedEx or UPS or USPS shows up, but I have to control that, right? Like, as the owner, I can't just let this wild beast that wants to kill this driver, I can't let him out. So I don't know how the pack of dogs got a hold of the postal worker, but here it is. It's a girl.
Pamela Rock.
5 dogs. The 61-year-old postal carrier identified as Pamela Jane Rock was mauled by the dogs after her vehicle broke down in Interlachen, Florida. Oh my gosh. Okay, her video. This must have been wild dogs. Is it wild dogs?
It doesn't say. It just says was mauled by dogs.
Huh.
Her vehicle broke down.
Anyway, rest in peace to Pamela Rock. That's awful. That's a terrible story. That's not a fun way to start the podcast.
It's really not.
We'll try to be more uplifting as we move forward.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
So, what was it? Elon tweeting anything today? He usually gets wild out there.
Elon tweets a lot.
Yeah.
Let me look up some of these. He's been tweeting. Like, what I like about it is he has like over 100 million followers.
I'd have to look, but
on Twitter, and
then it's crazy. Imagine every time you said something, 100 million people heard it.
Oh, I know, it's out of control.
I mean, we say something and like 500 people hear it. And I'm like, whoa, a lot of people heard that. It's really nothing. It's nothing.
Oh my gosh. I think the last thing that he did was.
Did you see him when him and Bernie Sanders were having their Twitter war?
No.
When Sanders was like, Sanders had said he had made a tweet like, just a reminder that the rich should pay their fair share. And Elon tweeted back at Bernie Sanders, said, I always forget you're still alive. and then somebody else jumped in and they said this, which I thought was great. They were like, the richest man in the world being shitty to the nicest man in the world is our society summed up in one tweet.
That is
because Bernie, whether you agree or disagree with Bernie Sanders' policies, you have to admit he's a nice old man.
I really think that well, Also, I'll be like scrolling through the internet and I'll see a tweet that says it's Elon, and you know how people just like mess with it. They make fake ones, or I could just take my phone and doctor whatever I want him to say.
Yeah.
And put it out there. So like half the time I don't even know if it's like real, like what he is saying.
Well, I know the one with him and Bernie was real because it's from his verified account.
Elon Musk attorneys raise Twitter whistleblower complaint in court.
So now so Twitter, you know what Twitter's trying to say, right? Twitter's trying to say, he was going to buy Twitter, and he was like, you need to release how many bots you have because y'all have so many bots on Twitter. Like, I don't think Elon was basically saying, I don't think half of Twitter's real, right?
Right.
And I agree with him.
I agree.
And so they sent him the numbers, and he's like, no, these numbers are bullshit. Now the lawyers are going, oh, well, that was explicitly known that was just an estimate. And he's like, I didn't ask for an estimate. No one asked for an estimate, and your estimate's not even close. I think that's the problem. Now, I'm not just being I don't want to be an Elon stan because I don't know all the ins and outs of the Elon and Twitter deal. I just know he was going to buy it for $44 billion, then he wasn't going to buy it, caused a big stir up, caused a big hubbub. Now the attorneys are going back and forth. This is going to go to court.
Well, whatever happened to that? I mean, it's just in court. It's just stuck in court.
Elon backed out because he said, you're not telling me how many bots you have. I need to know how many bots you have to establish real value of the company, right? Because if you're telling me you have, all right, if you're saying you own a platform, Mike, and you tell me that, yeah, Ray, I own this platform, I own this app, and on my platform I have 500 million people. And I'm like, well, 400 million of them are fake. And you're like, oh no, like 50 million. And then I say, well, no, that's not correct. And you go, and then when I take you to court, you say, oh, that was just an estimate. But if I'm going to give you $44 billion, we're going to get down to fine details, right? Like,
right. Yeah, if you're giving that much money.
$44 billion?
See, I don't see any of these things that people say that he's posting.
How do you not see them?
I don't know. I'm scrolling through them.
I think you must get a different version of the internet than the rest of us.
I think I do.
I think you're on the less fun side of the internet or something.
That's why I don't like it as much. I don't go I don't do Facebook very often. And I just use Facebook as I'll think of a funny meme and make one, or I swear
the craziest shit will happen. I'll be like, Mike, did you see that President Biden was riding a unicorn through the lawn today and somebody sniped him? And he'll be like, no, what?
Never heard that. I don't know.
It'll be like the biggest story of the week. And so I'll only bring up the biggest story, and he go,
I think
that happened?
I think all the Elon Musk tweets that I have read are fake.
But they're not.
There's one where there's one that's not, and then he said that he said something about it had to do with stay-at-home moms or something, and then he tweeted.
Those are fake. Then he
tweeted stay-at-home mom is just as important a job as any job.
Well, yeah.
Do you think he'll ever run for any kind of office, or do you think he's too rich and he's running SpaceX and all that?
Well, I think he'd probably only be interested in being president, right? He's born in South Africa.
Oh, he can't be president.
He cannot be president.
He can't be unless he gets the Obama nod. They have somebody that says that he.
You don't think Obama was not American, do you?
I don't know. They have a birth certificate, but then that lady died. Well, that found it.
Well, people died. They didn't just have the birth certificate. They have people that were present in the room saying, I was there when he was born at this hospital. I was working. He was absolutely born. They have the long form birth certificate. They have all the evidence.
Well, like I said, you just hear all the kooky things that everybody says.
Well, that's kind of what we were talking about the other day, talking about so the conspiracy, where's based reality?
Yeah.
Because some things are real. A lot of things are just bullshit. People just put out whatever. It was pretty well, I don't even know where it came from that he was from Kenya.
Well, here's something that.
Trump. It came from Trump. Trump was the one. I mean.
What did he say? That he would give money to somebody to produce. This was before. He would give money.
This is when Obama was still, in his first term, 2009, 10.
Didn't he say he would give money to somebody who produced his real birth certificate?
Yeah, but Obama produced his real birth certificate. That was just Hawaii, which is America. People just didn't want to accept anything that was going on.
Oh, I know.
It was. People get so dug in on this political shit that they'll believe anything.
Well, here's the other thing that happens is it doesn't matter if the news is right. It just matters if you read it and all of a sudden you read a headline now and you base your opinion on it, even if it's not right. Boom, right then and there. That's all they want.
Yeah.
That's all they want. And then they'll come back and say, oh, we made a mistake on page 8 or whatever. And nobody hears that.
Yeah. They make the headline. They make the headline. It's not really true, right? The headline just like kind of takes a bit of the story. And look, okay, like if you're looking at today's headline, you know how so Biden's doing $300 billion to get rid of student loans, right? You saw that?
No. Dude, listen. I work all day long. I sit and stare at a load board all day. That's my job. And I get about 80 phone calls a day. Mm-hmm. I get the same email, that many emails, and I have to deal with customers. Because I'm good with customers, damn it. I'm good with people, damn it.
You know you're not the only person working and getting information, right?
But I just work all day. It's just nothing but that all day long. And then when I'm done, like it's never done, by the way.
Yeah.
So I just got a text right now, from work. It's never done. And it's like I don't have a moment to do it. I make a moment to do this podcast.
Yeah. And
I make a moment. I get up at 5:45 a.m. every morning. I read for 30 minutes, and then I start working. I don't.
So the biggest story going on right now is that student loans are going to be like $10,000.
God, really?
$10,000 per federal student loan is going to be forgiven. There's a $300 billion bill that's passed to actually relieve the student loan. I think they passed it. They signed it. But the headline, instead of just saying, hey, $300 billion is going to be approved for student loan. And it's not all your student loans, it's 10,000 of it. If you have only 10,000, I guess you're good. And I haven't read all the details to know everything. I just got but my point is this: the headline on Fox said, "Biden approves $300 billion handout."
Yeah, they just twist it.
But if somebody on their side gets a $64 million loan they don't have to repay, no handout.
No handout. They don't call it a handout.
That's fine.
They call it something else, like what a savior this person is. But think about the guy
might get $64 million to help American workers. If you're on the other side, that's what the headline says. Yeah. If you're on the other side, it says might get $64 million in handouts.
In handouts. Here's the sad thing. The guy last month that paid off his student loans.
Oh, yeah. Right?
He's been working and toiling for 20 years and just paid them off.
So here's the deal. That's the debate, right? So the other side of the debate is this. They're like, oh, well, is it fair for people who worked and paid off their own student loans? Like me. I had student loans, and I paid off my student loans. My wife had student loans, and I paid off student loans. Now I again have student loans because I co-signed for my oldest son for his first year of school. So my third student loans, which won't all get forgiven, I'll still have to pay some back. So saying, well, it's not fair that some people have paid them off. So what do? Do we never advance society, even though we have the capability, even though we can do better? Do we not do it because it's not fair to someone older? I need someone to debate that with me. Like, because it's not fair, do we stop? Don't do anything that's progress, or don't do anything that helps people.
There's got to be a line on everything. So yeah, here's the line. They just drew the line.
Yeah.
And it's $10,000, right?
Yeah.
I know people with $80,000 student loans.
I know people with $400,000.
Yeah.
Doctors.
So doctors.
Yeah.
Then what's messed up about doctors, I think, is like you get all that. You go to school for 10 years and you have a $400,000 bill and you're paying it off, and your malpractice insurance is out of the roof because everybody tries to, to get one over on that. And so everybody, same thing with car insurance. Everybody's suing everybody. You get into an accident, you sue the shit out of the car insurance. You sue them no matter what. And it's just like insurance premiums and all that kind of stuff to be a doctor. It's like, thank God people still want to be doctors. Thank God people still want to be
engineers
and teachers.
Yeah.
They get paid shit.
Yeah, but a teacher student loan ought to be the whole thing ought to be free.
Here's what should happen with teachers. You want to be a teacher? You take a test, and if you mark this high on the test, they pay for your school, and then you go be a teacher, and you get a degree in that, and Yeah, I'm surprised they don't do that because basically it's just indoctrination is what school is.
I
right?
just don't. Yeah.
So wouldn't you give incentives to indoctrinate each new?
I would give incentives to keep America. I just don't understand the argument of I had it hard, or I did this hard thing, so I want my kids and my kids' kids to also have it hard, so they'll understand what it's like to be me. I don't see.
I don't like
progress.
that.
That's a stupid mindset.
You're supposed to lift. You're supposed to get your kids above your station.
I don't tell boomers. Your parents lived through the Great Depression. Why don't you live through the Great Depression? That's not fair that you got this great life. You came into a post-World War II era where everybody had a house and subdivisions. That's not fair. Your parents had the Great Depression. You should have a Great Depression.
Not everybody did, though. That's the thing. But most people,
Everyone
it
went
was
through the Great
easier.
Depression.
But not everybody lived in the suburbs. But more percentage now could afford it then than they can now.
But a lot. I'm saying they grew up. I'm saying the fact that they grew up in the most economically viable time in American history.
Well, was
right
it because
after
of
their parents were in the worst time in American history?
Was it because of all the wars?
It was because of the post. It was because of the post-war.
Well, war makes money.
The money that had been generated from World War II, and then
I can be all snide and be like the guy that's like, well, we go to war every so often to thin the population of that generation and then make money for our country, which is kind of what they did. Yeah. But now wars are fought on computers, and we don't really put boots on the ground too much anymore to get shot up on. Here's the front line, go boys. Well, we don't really do that.
We kind of fucked our boys and girls over in Afghanistan for 20 years. Past 20 years.
We did do that.
Yeah,
we did do that. But I'm just saying, we have technology where we can shoot a missile through your window from 100 miles away.
Yeah, but those 2 decades were real bullets and real terrorists and real bad people, and we had no business over there. What are we doing over there for 20 years?
Thank God for our military folks. I'm right there with you.
20 years over there and for nothing, like just crazy.
I'm too old to join the military now, and now that I have the mind I have now later in life, I wish I had the body of a 21-year-old with this mind, because I would have went in the military.
So I hit it perfect. I joined the military in the Clinton era. So it was right after the Gulf War is when I signed up. I signed up in 1994, so I guess 2 or 3 years after the Gulf War, and got out right before 9/11. So I had like this perfect little sweet spot of just peace.
Well, a lot of people joined after 9/11, signed them up.
Yeah.
Like, we got to go over there and do something about this.
Yeah. I just...
So, like, the patriotism.
I just happened to be there during Clinton, and it was there was no wars going on. I think he had one little invasion of Bosnia or something like that. But overall, I mean, after 9/11, I was like ready to re-sign up, but I just had like 2 kids and stuff. But
yeah.
Knowing what I know now, gosh, I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to have been a part of it, because a lot of it was just nonsense. A
lot of hanging out and shooting into the mountains.
A lot of going to Iraq looking for weapons of mass destruction that don't exist, that we know don't exist, that we're sending over there. A lot of going to Afghanistan. Oh, let's go to Afghanistan for 20 years. If we would have just went in and completed a mission, the United States military could have gone to Afghanistan, done what we needed to do in 6 months. Instead, we just go there and dick around for 20 years, get people shot up by all these citizens running around. And then half the time we're training in Iraq, we're training their soldiers so they can turn around and shoot at us.
Right.
Now, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You're going over there to help. And we didn't need to be in Iraq. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
No, they didn't find any. And there was like people that said that if they didn't have weapons of mass destruction, that they thought they did, because we held that we held the receipt. So, oh man, you hit my camera. So anyway, oh look, Ray's gone. Oh my goodness. Well, we're gonna sit here and have a little mic chat. So I'm gonna have to cut this out, Ray. I took this moment to do my TikTok part where I'm gonna make the TikTok bits.
Oh, did
so,
you?
yeah, so like where like I'm just like
sitting and thinking. So did you get that Stanley Kubrick?
Dude, you left and I was like, I don't know what to talk about. You know, fuck off. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna get the shots. I'm gonna get the shots I need for my TikTok.
You got to do what I do when you go pee. I just pretend you're there.
Oh, is that what you do? Yeah. See, you're a pro. I'm not a pro. I'm kind of, I'm over here producing and clicking buttons and doing all this kind of stuff.
You're making it happen, baby.
I'm making it happen. I got the camera set up. Which, by the way, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger and buy a new camera.
I think it's worth it. I think the show is.
And I'm gonna get one.
I think the show is worth it
because I think maybe me and you are gonna go on the streets too a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think we need to go out on the streets and like do some filming and stuff, and then put it on on YouTube and on the podcast. We need to go take a whole day.
Actually, we need to take a whole day. I was thinking about this and go film like 30 skits.
Yeah, or then like ask people in Ruston questions would be funny too. Like, do you know who the mayor of Ruston is? And people like, good, like I don't even know.
You don't know who the mayor of Ruston is?
No, it's John. It's Luke Paul, right? No, it's his brother.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
There's no Luke Paul.
There's no Luke Paul.
Luke Paul somewhere.
My bad. I've had a lot of. I'm drinking and I had a banana.
Ronnie Walker.
By the way, let me just tell everybody real quick. This is how you eat a banana, right? Okay, everybody goes like this. They go like this. They get a banana, and this thing's gotten kind of nasty. And then they take the top and they go, oh my god, and they can't get it open, right? You take a banana and you turn it upside down and you pinch it and then you peel it. Check it out. It works perfect.
Did you learn that from a gorilla?
I learned that from the internet.
So how did you learn that, but you didn't know that Joe Biden's forgiven $300 billion worth of student loans? You didn't have time to learn that. You were working.
I don't have student loans.
Well, I know. I didn't find out because I have student loans.
Here's what I think. I've started to get into the thing where this is what I'm thinking is going on. Mm-hmm. My phone hears what I talk about, and I just talk to people. I just talk to like employees and.
So you just get trucking shit all day.
I just trucking shit all day, and then I get like, then I'll say something. Like the funny thing is though, I'll get around one of my friends that does NDT work, and he'll talk about some like machines, weird NDT stuff, and I'll go on my phone, and then all this stuff pulls up like all these weird machines
stuff
that he uses. I'm like, it's like a transducer, electron modifier, and it's like, what is this crap? I don't know what the hell's going on with this.
Did you get the Stanley Kubrick video I sent you?
I did. That's awesome. The Stanley Kubrick.
I'll just start.
Tell about it.
As I get relevant information now, I'm just going to send it to you.
Just send it to me.
I think you'll watch it if I text it to you.
Yeah, I will.
I won't send you a bunch.
I will. I got
normal text.
Here's my job. I go like this. I go blah 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 blah, and then I send an email, and then I get on the computer and I do some like rearranging on a load board, and then I come back to here, and then I send emails, and then I set my phone down, and I wait like 5 minutes for somebody to reply to then it's always like hurry up and wait. That's all I do. And so like I never have time to like focus on anything, and the only time I can do that is at night, and I sit down with Kylie, and then we watch TV or something, and then I don't want to have any phones, I don't have computers around me, nothing, and we just like sit and enjoy each other's company.
When I sit down, I like have to have my phone. That's the only source of entertainment I want.
If you were on your phone from 5:45 a.m. until 6:30 p.m.
But you're doing work there. I'm talking about instead of watching TV, I like to watch things online. I like to.
I can't even like at about 6 o'clock. This phone starts getting real heavy, and I'm just like,
just over it.
I'm over holding that thing in my hand.
Yeah,
it's like the human race has never touched glass so much with its fingers.
I'm just addicted. Years. Like nothing on TV interests me. I just would rather watch it on my phone.
You don't like Game of Thrones?
I'll watch it on my phone.
Oh, you watch it on your phone?
I'll watch anything on my. I'll watch a whole. If I want to watch like a Sabbath concert, I'll watch a 2-hour show on my phone.
I'm into watching big TVs.
That's what my wife. My wife will put. Well, she'll put like our podcast on, which I hate. She'll put the podcast on. She likes to watch it, so she puts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she puts it up on YouTube.
That's cool.
And stuff. And I'm like.
And shout out.
And I'll be sitting in the chair. I'm like, it's so weird to just sit there and watch yourself for an hour.
We bought some flowers at the Hobby Lobby today.
Oh, good. She appreciates that. So you did get the Stanley Kubrick. Is it Kubrick or Kubrick?
Kubrick, I think.
Yeah, he completely says, like, 100% says that he faked it.
Can I?
Yep, pull it up.
Is there any way to pull that up?
I mean, I don't know where I got it or how I sent it to you or whatnot, but
I keep hitting the wrong thing. I am totally off today, by the way. When you got up and left, it was like a deer in headlights. I was like this. You were like, okay, you're leaving, and I was like Garth on Wayne's World. When they go back to Garth on Wayne's World after he's like, I quit and I'm taking my show with me, and he's like, oh no, and Garth's like,
I got that from
He's like, have you ever seen that thing on Scanners and that guy's head explodes? And Garth's like, that's what it was like.
So I do a radio show for football. It's a 3.5 hour show. I do a 30-minute pregame. I do the whole halftime, which is 30 minutes, and I do a 15 to 20 minute postgame plus the whole game. This is a 3.5 hour show, and me and the guy I do it with, you'll be in the middle of the game, and he's just like, I gotta go pee.
Yeah.
They go pee, and they're walking across a track. Through a crowd, waiting in line.
Oh God! Really? They don't have anywhere for y'all to pee that's
you gotta go
close?
To the restrooms that everybody uses.
Really?
So unless you're in like a college,
dude, you can't like pee in a cup right there
in the press box with everybody in there.
Oh, there's a bunch of people in there.
There's women in there filming, the dance groups.
I've never been in a press box like that.
Now, if you're at a college, if you're at a college game or something, you have a press box, you pee right there. My point is, they'll have to leave. My counterpart will have to leave sometimes for 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes you might have to do a number 2. So you really have to you're just there on an island by yourself with a mic and on the radio for 15 minutes sometimes. Or like at halftime, it's just me.
It's just you?
For 20 minutes.
Dude.
So I've figured out how to just keep talking about stuff.
Sometimes it
gets tough though. You run into a speed bump and you're like, I've covered all the stats. I've covered all the scores. I've covered all the highlights. I've covered everything to cover. I'm looking at my clock. I'm like, there's 7 minutes. I've only got a 2-minute break. What do I do? And you just kind of freak out.
Really? Yeah. I just paused. I was like, I don't have anything to say. I don't know. Ray's gone. What's going on? It'll be a good TikTok where it's like my mic freezes up. Fuck, I don't know what to tell y'all, but I just fucking, I'm drinking.
Did you find the Kubrick video?
Oh, yeah, let me find that.
So, anyway, if he can't find it, I'll just tell you what, he goes on and tries to say, he doesn't try to say, he does say, he completely faked it. We can't go there. He did all the, and he filmed it. And then he died. Now, this is weird. He dies just a couple months after he comes out with this statement. I guess he thought 30 years was like the statute of limitations. He could come out and say the truth.
Dude, they deaded him totally for saying that. This is like the biggest secret on the planet is the fact that maybe we can't leave the planet.
Yeah. We're obsessed with it, you and I think.
I'm obsessed with it. I want to know. I want to know so bad because I'm totally into NASA and rockets and SpaceX, and I always have been since I was a kid. One of my mom's cousins worked at NASA. He sent me all this cool pictures and stuff of all that kind of stuff, and I'm way into it my whole life.
Why don't you
ask him? I want to know. He ain't gonna say.
He won't say anything. He won't.
Dude,
you think he even knows?
I think that you sign a thing. I think they all do. I was just thinking about that the other day when you said, God, there's so many people involved in these launches and stuff. But it's like, if you are like, okay, we're going to play that we're shooting rockets into space and we're going to pay you money to do basically just kind of just fake it the whole time. You're going to sign this contract that says we'll kill you or your family or make you infamous. That means,
So you think NASA's
shoot up somewhere and then say
with the
your
Illuminati?
name.
Is that?
Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah.
So
you know what NASA stands for? Never a straight answer.
Yeah.
It stands for never a straight answer.
That's true.
Because they don't give you that. I gotta find we gotta show
There's Stanley Kubrick moon landing. Just click on that. That's probably.
We gotta show the one that you found.
How Stanley Kubrick staged the moon landing. There.
His movies look better than the moon landing.
But they were trying to make it look not like a movie, right? See, that's the whole point.
That is the whole point.
Right?
He's a genius.
If it looks like a movie, that's the genius of it. Yeah, if it looks too much like a movie, this is. He says you can't go. You cannot leave Earth.
It's impossible to leave Earth. He said it's impossible. Let's hit these videos.
Of course, Snopes. What does Snopes have to say about it? Go right there. Stanley Kubrick moon landing conspiracy.
Where?
Right, the first one, 557.
This right here.
Yeah, and then we'll maybe go an episode without talking about the moon landing. Maybe.
What is up with all
internet going
my
so
free
slow, stupid
cams?
hell, you four
What is this
nerds.
crap?
Oh, you're early.
It's ads, right?
No, it's just the dude. This dude is talking about the same thing we're talking
Now, I have
about.
been watching a lot of.
Okay, we get it, buddy. He's a shill.
He's a moon landing shill.
He's a moon landing shill. Let's see. Man, how do you find those things? But
They
then
come to me.
But then they're not on the internet when I look them up. Like,
They come to me. Just pop up somewhere on the timeline. Then I
okay, here's Snopes.
Snopes is going to say it's false.
Of course, Snopes is
Guaranteed,
the Illuminati.
before I even look at it.
Every time I had something to say about something, my dad would go, "Well, Snopes says this," and I'm like, "Dad, Snopes is the whole problem."
And
That's
yeah,
the thing
but
that
I
the-
use Snopes too because sometimes I think they're telling the truth. But when are they telling the truth and when are they not? That I don't know. False. See, I told you.
See, but we saw him say it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to try something? Do you want to see if we can hold it up to something? Well, no, that ain't gonna work. I really want to see. Okay, hold on. This is it. I found it.
All right, so you think you look at that again? Look, if
Is that Stanley
everything look in
Kubrick?
order regarding our contract and the 15-year agreement and assign the non-disclosure? Is that's all for the legal stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is 27
All right.
minutes.
We don't have to watch all
if
27
you're-
minutes. Just give them the gist of it.
a great filmmaker about filmmaking. Well, so when you were doing 2001, obviously that's the space movie. So you're saying when you're doing the space movie, they contacted you then? I mean, obviously there's a relationship between that?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so what happened?
And they were planning this fake moon landing. They wanted
But why did they have to fake it? Why?
because it is impossible to get to the moon. If
Bingo.
you ask any scientist, we couldn't do it. Okay. There's the Van Allen belt, which is it's impossible to get past.
Okay.
Yeah, we know. That's we. Yeah, we
If you
both.
think of our space program and how many trips we have made since the alleged moon landing,
Right.
they stopped in 1972. What sense does that even make? That if we went there, what, 3 or 4 times?
Zero.
Between
It makes
69 and
zero
72,
sense.
And haven't gone since, nor has anyone else, not even the Russians. It's a little bit of a stretch of the imagination to think that we did, why would we not go?
Or no other
Impossible. Because it's impossible to go. The furthest anyone has ever been off this planet is about 400 miles.
Wow.
The moon is what? Several hundred
It's a quarter million.
Yes.
250,000 miles away.
It's just not possible. It wasn't possible in 1969.
So the circumference
It's
of
not
Earth
possible.
opened up 10 times. You'd have to travel.
So
Open up Earth like
tell me a
this
story.
and stretch it out
This is
10
where
times.
you're going to tell the
We're
story.
going 400 miles.
I really want to watch this whole thing, so I'm going to save this because I want to watch this whole thing. It's 27 minutes long. He looks pained. He looks pained that he's talking about it.
Walking around with this for 30 years.
Well, it's like I said, all the astronauts became huge drunks. Men of that age, and men now too, we like to think that when we're doing something, we're doing something. You know what I mean? Like we're human beings who like to produce and do things. If you were told, let's say this, if somebody was like, "Hey, we're going to perpetuate this lie of you being a billionaire, and we're going to pay you a ton of money, and you're going to have all this influence and all this stuff, but you're not going to really do anything. We're just going to tell you what to say and do this, that, and the other." How long would that wait? And then they say things to you to tell people to say that you don't agree with or are false. How long do you think you could put up with that without going crazy?
A year. Me personally?
Yeah.
1 year, because it would that would eat me alive.
It would eat you alive. And it's human nature to be eaten alive by
To
something
know that you were just bullshitting everybody.
If I sat here on the internet and I was here and people were listening to things I was saying and I had influence and people were like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and they were sending me a script like, "Hey, the mountains are blah blah blah, and this is that, and this is that."
The mountains are made out of pudding.
And the whole time you're worried about you getting found out about lying to every single person on the planet.
Wouldn't be able to sleep.
you'd be miserable.
When you tell a little lie, it eats you alive. If you got a conscience,
yes, you got a conscience. I got a huge.
Me
conscience.
too. If you tell a little lie, you're like, oh my god, it just eats you up, right?
Dude, I've told little lies that I lay in bed at night that I told 30 years ago that I'm laying in bed and I go, oh man, I want to fucking do that.
Exactly. So
it's like I told my third grade teacher, oh god, oh man, I'm such a terrible piece of shit. What did I do today, you piece of shit?
That's right, though. I'm the same way.
I can't, like, I'll be driving down the road and I'll think of like a conversation I had with somebody one time
I didn't say something the way I meant to say it, and it could have been 8 years ago.
And I find myself like, and I'll be riding with somebody and I'll be like, and I'll say something out loud or move my hands and I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm having a conversation that I had 5 years ago with this guy that just doesn't sit right with me.
I'm rehabbing it. I'm rehashing it.
I'm like rehabbing it right now for some reason. Like I'm like, and they're like, what are you doing?
I'll even sometimes watch our podcast and I'll say something and I'm like, oh, that's not the way I meant to say that. It's not exactly kind of how I wanted it to come out, and that'll riddle me with anxiety because I feel like I wasn't trying to say exactly that, but I said that, and that's not the way I meant it to come out. And that eats me alive. So imagine if I was just sitting here like, I just went to the moon.
We just were there stars on the? Did you see the stars?
Oh yeah, the stars were bright and pretty.
No, I saw no stars. I didn't see any stars. I don't think either. I don't think you saw any either.
No stars.
Yeah, I can understand where you thought maybe you did. But
did I say a lot of stars? That was when I was looking at this craft. There was dots. I was seeing dots from when I had the pressure.
Yeah,
it was making me.
Yeah,
dots,
you were seeing dots, not stars.
I meant I saw no stars.
That's right. That's what happened.
That shit would kill you.
But we were definitely on the moon, and we had fun.
Yeah, and I brought back this rock.
I got these rocks. Did you? No,
did you bring
I've actually heard that the rocks are fake. They sent a piece of rock to somebody, and they had it tested, like another country, and they tested it, and it was a fossilized piece of wood.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's no moon rocks, bro.
Yeah.
There's none.
I know.
There's none.
They were.
I really do think now that we just never went to the moon.
The deeper, I guess 8 episodes ago when we were on this, I was like,
we can't stop talking about it. I love it though.
You can't. We're like a 7th grader who discovered boobs. Like it is the topic.
I know, it's the topic of every time. I could go on and on and on about it.
But because we haven't settled on it, we haven't got an answer. We had that one about 8 episodes ago where I said, like, I wish I didn't feel crazy for thinking we didn't go to the moon.
And then everybody on the internet agreed with you.
And I'm starting to feel less crazy for feeling like, I don't care that people think I'm nuts. Like, show me.
Here's the thing. Boomers and people that were alive when it was like this big push, I think it's a
source of American pride.
Yes. So it like hurts them to think that they were lied to, or they were like, no, we went to the moon. I saw it.
It's like
you saw a TV show, bro, that Stanley Kubrick did. It's
probably like in 1974 when somebody told you wrestling wasn't real.
Oh yeah,
you'd been watching wrestling since the 40s.
Yeah, you were just like, oh my god, no way, man, look at that. That dude's
my great grandfather was a wrestling guy.
Really?
Yeah, but so in the 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s, people hadn't discovered that it was an act yet, right? Mm-hmm. They thought these were real fights, so it was never real. Professional wrestling was always entertainment, right?
Right.
But for 40 years, people didn't know that. So when it came out in like the early 80s, late 70s, that like people started saying, "Hey, this is just an act. This is like these people they have a script." People were like, "What?
What? No.
These
not
guys,
my wrestling."
No, he hates him. He really
that guy hates that guy.
No, they're
having beers and partying after the show.
They rode to the show together. Now it's commonly accepted, right? Because we've had 40 years.
Well, it's entertainment now.
But it took us 25, 30 years for everybody to accept that. I think maybe in 2042, people are going to be like, of course we didn't go to the moon. But now we're just kind of now getting with enough information to go, yeah, it's not.
All you have to see is that thing you sent me where the dude is like, he's hanging.
Look at me in space.
He's hanging
I'm a space guy.
He's hanging by a string. And they've got this huge painted thing that's spinning slowly underneath it.
I'm totally doing this, bro. This is really real.
It's so bad. And
but
it's like Walter Cronkite is like,
As you see, the spaceman is tethered with his tether, so he will not float away.
And he's basically hanging from like this.
From with a garden hose attached to him.
He's got a garden hose tether, and he's going like this. It's like,
the spaceman hangs from the... not hangs, he's floating in space. He is he is tethered to the ship.
And meanwhile, they have like 3 different angles on this thing. And one of them's like way far out. It's like, who's the guy that went way off with the camera and has it like completely perfect steady while he's like
and it backs away.
Yeah, it's like, how's
it
that?
It backs away and then it comes forward.
We really need to find.
Did we even have zoom technology then? I think you had to actually roll the camera. You had to roll the camera towards them.
I'm just saying, it's like those little tiny things. Anybody that like went to film school or anything looks at those and goes, "That's bullshit." Like, easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't go to film school, but I've filmed a lot of things in my life, and it's like they got like 3 different angles going on this thing.
And I think, like I said earlier, I think they were trying to make it look like not a movie. They're like, we can't make it look like anything people have seen in the 60s in a movie. We have to make it look different than that. That was what they thought was their genius. They also didn't know there would become a time when we would have all the world's information in our pocket.
When everybody would just be like, hey, I can film stuff too all the time and do this and then send it to you, and then I can look like a monkey with the all the technology filters. They had no idea that was going to happen.
No,
and like I said, most people were probably listening to it on a radio that most people didn't have television sets.
Well, in the 60s, 69 they did.
Yeah.
In 59 they didn't, but 69 everyone had them.
What was the one? But the Russian one that you sent me with that was Russian, right?
That was America.
That was American. Oh, okay.
It said USA on the rocket that was right above Earth.
Oh yeah, it made sure it got that shot in there.
Yeah, you remember the rocket? So the Earth is here, and the rocket was just floating right above it, and the man's above it with a garden hose attached. Oh, look at me so spacey.
Oh, me so spacey.
Now look, let me be the devil's advocate for a minute. Have we just looked at the alternative thesis so much, and we've neglected the thesis of we did go to the moon, and we could actually find tons of data to support that we did go to the moon? I think that's the next step I have to take, is to go deeper into the we did go there. Like, what is all the proof that we did go there? And maybe that's overwhelming too. And maybe then my head just explodes.
I will tell you this. When you see shots of the ship landed on the moon, there's no dust or any kind of particles or rocks on top of the landing gear.
Yeah.
And that's a big no-no to me. Like,
I mean,
it should have been like like they're walking around in powder.
Yeah, on a desert.
On a desert. And then they say that they like blast off, and there was like, when the thing blasts off, there's no powder. It would have been like, you wouldn't have been able to see it.
Yeah, a craft doesn't lift from the moon, just go. It's got a.
And then it pans.
So does it? Do we have footage of it blasting off?
Yes. We were way into this. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I could talk about it all day and look at this stuff all day, because
until I know, I keep caring. How about that?
Right.
And if they'll lie to you about that,
this is it right here.
Perfect.
Grammarly helps you work more efficiently, which makes accomplishing your work goal.
We don't want to help them out. I don't care. Go to Grammarly.
Go check them out.
Check them out.
All right, here's the blast off.
Okay.
They're on a dusty moon, right? Which you can see, because when I stand on it, I go this deep, right? Like you would in the desert. So obviously this craft is.
Here it goes.
Get it big.
I'm trying. Bigger-ish. So you can see that in the between us there. And oh, by the way, you get demonetized when you show any of this stuff, and I think that's a conspiracy within itself.
Sure, they're part of the.
They don't want you to show this stuff.
Sure, YouTube executives are in the club.
Oh, of course.
Read you loud and clear, America. This is Challenger. We're coming up on 210 from liftoff.
That is not the moon.
That is so.
Look at the background. Just look at the back. That is a desert. It's got. Come on.
We'll be with you shortly.
Come on.
Okay, Jack. double check your logic power breaker. Check. Okay, master arm is on. I've got 2 good lights. Hey, mime, I've got 400 plus 1
I'm
amp.
gonna go forward.
Okay, let's get off.
Okay.
Okay.
10 seconds, 10 seconds.
I got some.
This is the last takeoff ever from the moon.
I got some gold tinfoil.
This would have been when we were the best at going. This is our last trip, right?
2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston.
So we
Vector
left
grid.
that stuff on the moon?
Ag side.
That's what they say.
They just left it.
And we got the pan.
Pitch over.
Roger, you have good progress.
Up, zoom back, so you can see it. It panned up all the way.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Static from vibration of the
308 your number.
spacecraft.
That's supposed to be space, right?
1,500
Yeah.
feet, and H dot looks
No
good.
stars?
Roger, we've lost data right now, but we'll...
It's hard to focus on the accelerating lunar
We'd
module.
like aft
I guess it
me,
is.
aft on me, please.
Okay, coming up on 40 seconds, then we're going. Coming right over top of Camelot.
Y'all comment. Y'all let us.
Do we get it back?
Who believes this?
Awful lot of
And
static,
tell me-
Jack.
no,
We break lock.
when you
Wait,
turn
it's gonna pan back down. Now watch. It pans back down, and it's not even in the same spot. Look, watch this.
Why would you believe this? I mean, I believed it for a long time, forever.
Well, I did too. I mean, you just believe it. Look, it pans back
130
down.
Houston, we're
Now it's.
on and we're go.
Roger, we'd like
I
the
guess because they
ag
tried to
auto.
follow it.
Okay.
Who
I got
tried to
good
follow?
spot.
Oh look, now they're.
Okay, how did the cameraman return to
Trying to
Earth?
hold.
Where is his craft?
You
Okay,
could say.
Houston coming up on 2 minutes.
Look, you could say that they were operating it from Earth, but it would take it. Did they have the kind of technology where you could move a camera around on the moon?
Hell no.
250 million miles away.
I had a remote
What
control.
was it? No, 250,000.
I had a remote
miles away.
control car in 1988 that just had up, down, and there was this technology.
But this is NASA. They got the shit, right?
In 1970, were they 100 years ahead of us?
Maybe. This isn't the moon, by the way. Look at this. This
I know
is a desert.
that's totally that's totally Earth.
They're-
What I'm asking is, you're saying they would have sent a camera to the moon and then been able to place it out and remotely operate the camera from Earth 250,000 miles away in 1972?
Okay, so let's say it took just for fun. Let's say it took 10 minutes. When you hit the button to move the camera, it took 10 minutes. So you hit the button to move the camera, 10 minutes. So you have a countdown from blasting off. So at a certain time, you would say, okay, now I'm moving it up 10 minutes right before it blasts off, and now I'm moving it up. But let's go
Well, how
back.
does the footage get back to Earth?
No. A feed? Is there a feed that goes that far?
The what kind of feed? The internet?
Well, I'll tell you this. After that, and we have these my cell phone doesn't work that great all the time.
Yeah,
how in the world does this work? How did we get this?
It can't.
I will tell you this. Look, when we go back and you watch it go,
We'll
what
be with
is
you
all this
shortly.
rainbow boom? What is all this rainbow blast off stuff that happens? It's
What you mean?
watch it.
Shoot.
Shoot!
let's get off.
We got to make sure we sell
10
it.
seconds, 10 seconds.
Watch this.
Port stage, push.
Watch this. Boom! See all that
Right away,
rainbow?
Houston.
Well, that's the
Vector
fire,
grid.
right?
It's too perfect. Look.
Ignition. Right away, Houston.
What fired
Vector
it
grid.
off? What is it?
It's
That's
an
the launch pad that gets us back to
Right
Earth?
away, Houston.
That's an explosion?
Vector grid.
That's as much
Ag
force
stock.
as we need to get back to Earth. That's what you're telling me?
Right
No, that
away,
doesn't go
Houston.
back to Earth.
Vector
Where does that
grid.
go?
That goes in. I think that goes in orbit, and then something else picked. There was a guy in orbit around the moon.
So the astronauts are just in orbit. That's just the craft we have?
Well, no, some of them went down, and somebody stays in the whatever it's called, and then that hooks back up with him in orbit, and they bring it back. There's a lot of math involved. I just don't think it. I don't think that happened. There's just no way that all that happened.
We can't do any of this stuff now.
No, we've never been back.
We can't do it now, but we could do it at a time when cars were getting 4 miles to the gallon. Our technology had cars got 4 to 6 miles per gallon. Now they were fast as shit, but
They're fast.
yeah.
You put you in the back seat.
But I mean the technology. Look at a 1972 car. Just go look at the interior of it. Look at the engine. It's like 4 parts. I mean, there's no technology to it, right? I mean, it's a.
Well, I had a '67 Camaro, and it was just this, and this.
Yeah. And we're doing this at the same time. Did you even have like? I don't even think you had remote control cars. A go-kart in 1972 was a piece of plywood with 4 tires and a lawnmower engine. That was the technology to make a go-kart. You had no remote controls, okay? No remote controls for TVs. But we had this. Now, obviously, we can make a craft that looked like that in 1972, but could it do the thing they say it can do? I propose it could not. It's just a lot to swallow, man.
I think it's a lot. I think there's a lot going on.
So, and we've exhausted our we've exhausted the moon landing thing, but it's so much bullshit. It's just so much.
I really don't think we went.
So, I don't either. I'm gonna keep
looking.
Last thing for today. What is your percentage? You think percentage we did go, percentage we didn't go? I'm gonna say I'm 90%.
I want to talk about one more thing.
Okay.
Hit me. But what are you saying about this? About the moon landing?
I'm saying what percentage of you believes we didn't go, and what percentage of you believes we did? I'm like 85% we did not go. Maybe 15% we did go.
I'm gonna say we didn't go.
100%?
Yeah.
You're 100%.
I'm 100% we didn't go.
I'm close to that, but I mean, there's always just got to be this little.
I think it's impossible. I think you can't travel through space in that. There's no way. There's no way.
Agreed.
You can't travel through space in that.
So tell me, switching topics real fast.
Well, I want to talk about.
Oh, you got to tell one thing.
I want to talk about the AMC.
That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, start talking. I got to do something.
You were going to tell me that you had some. So everyone knows that's an AMC APE, that we got the APE dividend on Monday, but everyone didn't get the APE dividend. I believe everyone's going to have it in their account by Friday and Monday, but you say you have some new information, Mike, that everyone's going to be excited about, because I don't have this information. But you have.
Well, I don't have I just have what I.
Give me the thesis.
Okay,
switch it to you and give me the thesis.
Okay, so here's the thing. On Monday, if you're following the AMC APE thing and the short squeeze or the squeeze, the MOAS, all that kind of stuff. Monday when we got our shares, I got my APE shares. I got mine. Not everybody got theirs.
I know people that did not get their apes, though.
Especially people that didn't get their apes in Canada and overseas didn't get them because they're overseas apparently. So through Reddit, internet, people that I've talked to, the squeeze happened Monday. It was happening.
That's why they halted it.
They halted AMC too. They halted APE in the morning when it came, and it halted. Remember, APE went boom, boom, and it kept opening up, and they kept halting it. Now I know they do halts, but there's
they do halt 10%.
They were supposed to not halt APE on Monday per SEC rules of
for the first week.
For the first day.
First day, okay.
Was not supposed to be halted. We were supposed to get paid that day from APE. It was supposed to go up and we were supposed to get paid. From my understanding of people that I've talked to. And I know nobody really knows, but here's what makes sense to me. They halted it because they weren't ready, because not everybody received their APE, so everybody was out. This is so controlled. I feel like it's so controlled.
Oh, it's definitely, yeah, for sure.
That they stopped it. It was supposed to happen Monday, but people
it was going to be APE. Well, what was going to make? But the only thing that can make APE go is purchases. It can only squeeze. It can't short squeeze. It's not shorted.
FOMO.
That's what I'm saying. So
makes
purchases.
APE go. Let's say AMC goes up. APE's going up because of FOMO. It's the same company.
Right, but you're saying we're supposed to get paid from APE, but I mean
APE was supposed to go up probably to 200%,
300% or something?
Yeah, something like that, and then we would sell our shares. They would buy those, and then they would make them synthetic, the synthetics that they're talking about. They would use those to buy AMC shares somehow.
Not use synthetics to buy AMC shares. Use the APE.
Use the APE.
And then the ape value is obviously, is it going to go to $1 or after?
I have no idea. But but all I know is like Monday is when the squeeze started. But they halted
Allegedly.
it. Allegedly. And I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not telling y'all what to do, but this is the thing that I'm hearing.
My thing is, I see a lot of people saying sell your ape, and I'm like, why the hell would you sell your ape?
No, don't sell your ape.
Sell your ape when it goes.
All they did was they took you didn't get anything more.
Nothing. You got we have less.
You
now.
got less now.
Last week.
We got less now, but they gave you the amount of shares, and all they did was slice off that money and put it in a different. They put it in ape.
The thesis is Friday or Monday that ape.
I would say when everybody gets their ape shares around the world on Friday is when they're supposed to have them. Friday or Monday, we're gonna be looking at something. Something's gonna be happening.
You think something's gonna happen with AMC as well, or just
yes? No, AMC. I'm talking about AMC. Ape's kind of like on the side. Ape probably will go to like I don't know $15 to $25 for a.
Who are you getting this from? Because you're a smart guy.
I can't say.
You're a smart guy, and I
don't want to say.
I respect. I don't want you to say his name or her name, but you feel like it's a good source of information.
Yes, it's a very smart person who deals.
That's all I want to know. You're not. So it's not something.
It's not coming from the industry of anybody on anybody anywhere. It's this guy who. He's in the know of some of this stuff.
I mean, you're a smart enough guy that I would, if you came up with a thesis and it makes sense and you could validate. I mean, I would believe.
Well, obviously, you can see that on Monday when they started halting it, they were like, whoa, this can't happen right now. This can't be going on right now, and they halted it, and they were not supposed to halt ape on Monday. That was not supposed to happen. It was supposed to go up. We were supposed to sell our ape shares.
Buy more AMC.
Because, don't get me wrong, I like Adam Aaron. But he's not one of us.
Right, we know. Yeah,
he's all for AMC, and he's all for all.
As he should be.
And he should be, and he is. But the other thing is I think they've cut a deal where both sides kind of get a little bit of a break. Like we get some money, and then this whole ape thing kind of bails the hedge funds out a little bit. I'm not smart enough to understand how or why, but I just feel like. Well, don't you feel like if Adam Aaron came out and completely screwed us, which he didn't,
they would dump all the AMC and dump AMC.
Nobody would ever go to AMC ever again, and they would go out of business. They would go out of business.
If he fucks us,
we're not going.
If he fucks us, everyone will sell.
Everyone will sell, and they will never go to AMC theaters, and no one. They'll go to a different
some people
theater.
have already started doing that. I think some people have gotten pissed this week.
Really?
I know they have.
Well, they need to wait. They just wait. That's all we got to do is wait.
That's what I think. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, hey, don't overreact. We knew. I thought this week would be a little more action packed, though. Didn't you think the week would be?
No, because once they started halting it, they had to keep it down because it is gonna go. They have to buy it. They have to. It's gonna go. They just need it to go at a certain time when it's all right to go.
Yeah, and the ape, I guess, if ape goes 300%, say it's $21, tens of millions of people sell their ape. And then
I will sell my ape down to where I was before they split it like that and gave us ape. That way I made basically my dividend that I should get from AMC from the ape, and then I'll have the money that I had in it before for the squeeze.
Can they do options on ape?
I don't know.
If they could do options on ape,
all I do is read on the internet, and everybody's just like, you can't do options, you can do options. I have no idea, and I haven't dug into it because I don't like to do options. I don't do options.
Here's what I'm going to say: if you can do options, here's what I think the hedgies would do. If you can do options, the hedge funds take out call options on ape, right? Take out call options on ape, hundreds of millions of dollars. They know it's going to run. It runs to $12, $15, $20. They cash out hundreds of millions or billions of dollars from their call options on ape, and then buy their shorts back on AMC, getting themselves out of the position for no money.
Right.
Does that make sense?
But did you see? Remember when I sent you a thing where I saw that Citadel borrowed what? How much was it?
Oh no, I see different stuff on Citadel. It's $500 million, $800 million,
something like that, and they borrowed that money for Monday. And then they froze it because they were like, oh no, but not everybody has their ape. Because not everybody has their ape
So they
because
didn't spend any of it.
not yet.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
I don't think they have. Well, they've been spending money to keep it the same, keeping it kind of all this week boring.
Yeah.
So it's been boring. I'm just telling you, watch Friday and watch Monday. I think these Friday, and I hate to put a day on it. I know everybody that puts a day on all this shit is like obliterated, but like, dude, Monday.
Call your shot, Babe Ruth.
Monday,
Friday or Monday, right?
Last Monday it was going. There was an electricity in there.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. This past Monday, dude, the shit got so out of control. They had no idea what was going on. It hit. Ape hit. It started like freezing. Everything started freezing because they were like, holy shit, we don't know what this thing's doing. This could go to whatever. It was stop. And so like the powers that be are like, stop. That's what they did.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's definitely happened.
Guess what?
And guess what?
That only proves our point as apes.
And guess what else happened this week? This week's been some of the most FUD I've seen in 2 years. FUD everywhere. Everyone coming out. Oh, you got to sell this ape. Get rid of this. Oh, we just got screwed. It's over. Blah, 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 blah. And that's what we were saying last week. You said, I think we got hosed. Or some words like that.
But then Monday when that happened, I was like, oh, they did this to force the squeeze. And they did force it on Monday.
And then you talked to your guy.
Yeah, they did force the squeeze. And it did work. Ape did work, but they froze it because they weren't ready. And not everybody had their ape shares. So these ape shares out there, people in Canada don't have them.
I know somebody in America that doesn't have them.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Well, here's the other thing. I got all of my shares that morning on Monday.
Me too, first thing.
Before it even started
8 a.m., before 8:30.
Before 8:30, I got all of mine.
Yeah.
And
so where do you think GME is going to play in this deal?
Well, it's all going to go at once. It'll all go at once.
You think
all the meme stocks are going to go at once?
Well, Bed Bath & Beyond went a week or two ago.
That's also that's probably a play for them to make you put into Bed Bath & Beyond so you'll sink your money in that and stop buying these damn AMC shares.
Well, yeah, but man, did you see some kid made did you see I know you didn't. The answer's no, probably.
The answer's
you didn't
no.
see it. But some kid, a 21-year, I'm calling him a kid. He's 21. He's a grown. But this 21-year-old college student, guess how much he made?
How much?
$150 million.
Oh my gosh,
on his Bed Bath & Beyond
awesome.
play.
That's awesome.
He went and talked to all his parents and all his parents' friends and did a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Raised up a bunch of money and said, I got to play. I got something I'm going to do. I need to borrow y'all's money, though, for capital. He ended up getting $20 million. He put it all in Bed Bath & Beyond. He made $150 million in 7 days. He cashed it all out. He returned them all their money with interest, and then he kept like $60 million.
Oh, my gosh. What a beast.
21-year-old from Stanford.
What a beast. And we'll end on that good note.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Dude.
So, if you got a great idea like that, put it into work.
Do it.
Get you $60 million.
Make it happen.
I wish I was that smart or that ahead of the curve.
Well, the funny thing about Bed Bath & Beyond is like Bed Bath & Beyond 3 months ago, I was like, nah, should have put some money in that, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about it. I was like, well, I'm in this AMC thing. I'm not going to do it. I should have just put $500 in it.
But that kid just sealed his future.
Oh, dude, that's wealth.
He's done forever.
That's wealth.
He
doesn't
even have to finish up at Stanford now. He's like in his senior year. He's like, he's probably going to
Why go through the headache?
Yeah, do I really want to take these last 6 classes?
I could probably donate a building to Stanford, and they'll just give me the
degree.
Degree. Just give it to me.
I thought that was a cool story, though.
That is awesome. I love to hear a come-up story. I don't hate on anyone that makes things happen.
And kudos to a 21-year-old who can convince like 100 different friends of his parents to give you $50 million.
Yeah, that's...
Or 20 million, but whatever.
20 million.
Yeah, but he turned 20 million into 150. That's still badass.
Whew.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes.
Dude's a beast. So we'll see you guys. It's going to be a week or so probably because we did 3 this week and I got a lot going on this weekend.
Right on.
Cool. See you
All
later.
right, bye.
Bye.